Welcome back. So we have cracked the password with our aircrack tool. We noticed that the speed was around 300 to 400 keys or passwords per second. We saw that it works once we added the correct password to our file. And we also saw some of the other options such as time left, the percentage, and the amount of passwords that have been tested. But right now, let's see how we can crack the password even faster using the Hashcat tool. So let me clear the screen from the previous video. And what I got on my desktop right now is I got the rockyou.txt password list and I got the rockyou.txt with our correct password. Now these are the two exact same lists from the previous video, just this one contains the correct password for our wireless access point. We're going to run the first one first just to see the speed that we get and whether it is any faster than with our aircrack tool, and then just to prove that it works, we're going to run this list the next. So let's get straight into it. To run the Hashcat help menu, you can simply just type Hashcat, and to get even more options onto how you can use Hashcat, you can type Hashcat and then -- help. And here is the help menu. Down here we got some basic examples of how we can use Hashcat, and if I scroll a little bit up here, we can see all of our available options. And you might be asking, what was the thing that I was scrolling through so much? Well, these are just different types of password hashes that you can crack. You have SHA-1, SHA-2, SHA-512, you got Gitsak, you got zip hash, you got MD5, different types of MD5 hashes with salt, without salt. That goes for SHA-1 as well, and for any other password list that we can find. Now, you might be wondering, well, which one are we going to use? In our case, we want to find the WPA password hash, and it will be under these network protocols, and if I go right here, here it is. We want to use the WPA EPOL PBKDF2. And this has a code of 2500. Remember that because that is the number that we're going to specify in our command. And up here we got something under the -A option, which is called the attack mode. And you simply just specify -A and then different attack mode. Down here at the lower part of the help menu, we get which attack modes we have. Let me just find where it is. I believe it's somewhere around here, and here it is. I believe these are the attack modes. So we got the low, which is specified with 0. Even though it says 1 right here, the low attack mode is specified with 0. And the 4, which is nightmare, is specified with -A3. Now we're going to be running the lowest attack mode, just so we can see how the tool works. So the first thing that we must do is we must type Hashcat -A and then the attack mode. We're going to use the lowest one, which is 0, and then -M for the password hash. Remember, the code for the WPA password hash is going to be 2500. After that comes our cap file. But if you were to try to run this program with our .cap file, it would not work. Hashcat works with different cap files. We must convert this cap file to XCCapX. How can we do that? Well, we don't have any tool that we can use in our Kali Linux, so we must go and do that online. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my Firefox, and I'm just going to search for cap to XCCapX converter. Let's wait for this to open a new tab, and type cap to XCCap and then X. Press enter. The proxies are refusing connections. This could be due to our burp suit being the proxy, so we're just going to remove it real quick instead of actually opening it. I'm just going to go to network settings and click right here, no proxy. Great, now I will refresh this page, and I'm going to go to this first link right here, which is pcap and cap file converter to XCCapX. Let's click on that. Let's select our file. I will click on browse, and I will find my .cap file. Here it is. So I will select that one and I will click on upload. This will upload the file for me, and as soon as it finishes, I should be able to download the xccapx file that we can use with our hashcat tool. So let's wait for this to finish. And here it is. I can click down here, download my file, and I want to save my file. It will be under here in the download section. As we can see, it has some weird name. Nonetheless, let's copy it to our desktop. For that, I'm going to open another terminal, navigate to downloads, and I'm going to copy our xccapx file to home, Mr. Hacker, and then desktop. Then I can exit this out. And the next thing that we specify right here is that file. So I believe it is called like this. You can rename it if you want to. I'm just going to leave it with this long name. And the last parameter to this function is going to be the word list that we're going to use. In our case, this is going to be rockyou.txt first. This is the list without our password. So let's go through the options once again. The attack mode is going to be the lowest. The -m option specifies which password are we cracking. We're cracking WPA password, so we specify 2500. Then we specified our cap file that is converted for hashcat, and the last thing we specify is the password list. So I'm going to run this. It will tell me that this has been started. It will initialize this backend runtime for our device 1, and it will probably start brute forcing with my CPU. And the reason it does that is probably because we're running this over a virtual machine, so it can only detect the CPU. However, even with CPU cracking, we should still get faster cracking time than with air crack. All we need to do is we need to wait for this to finish, and as soon as that's done, we should start cracking the password. And here it is. It started cracking the password. It will not write anything right here. However, if we type S for status, we can check out what progress it currently has. So we can see some information right here. And anytime you press S, you will see the current progress of this cracking of the password. It will tell us which file are we using to crack, which hash name are we using. The progress and the speed is down here. It says 600 hashes per second, and this is equal to 600 passwords per second. So we can see it is almost double the amount that we had with aircrack. Down here we can see the progress as to what amount of passwords have we covered from 14 million passwords that we have inside of our program. And we can see we already passed 100,000 passwords. In the candidates, it tells you between which passwords it is currently at. Now you can wait for this to finish. However, even though it is currently at 1%, we're not going to be waiting for all of this to finish. It would take hours. We're just going to quit this with Q command, and then we're going to run the same command just with our correct file. So I'm going to use rockyou with password.txt, and I'm going to run this once again. Just make sure that you added the correct password to the password list, and let's see whether it will manage to find it. And keep in mind that if you didn't run this on a virtual machine and you actually used the GPU to brute force the password, you could have up to tens of thousands of passwords per second. And the faster, the better. However, even with this small speed, we managed to find the password while I was talking. So we can see it printed it out right here. Here is the hash, here is the name of the actual wireless access point, and here is the password that it managed to find. So we can see it also did this in less than 1 second. While I talked, we got all of these results outputted. And this is a second option as to how you can crack the password of wireless access points. Now you can use the hashcat to crack some other passwords as well. We saw that there are a bunch of different hash values that you can use. However, we learned hashcat through wireless password cracking. Great. And that would be about it for wireless cracking. So thank you for watching this video and this section, and I will see you in the next lecture.